Hey America! So seeing as how we're headed into winter now, I thought I'd take us somewhere warm. So let's talk about a recent phenomenon going on in Hawaii with regards to spam. Have you ever gone down the canned goods aisle at the grocery store and seen a weird looking can advertising some pink flab of meat called spam? Most people that I know think that spam is either one of the most disgusting things they've ever had, or they just have no idea what it is and want absolutely nothing to do with it. Well, in Hawaii, spam is a major part of their food industry, with Hawaiians being the #1 consumers of spam in the entire United States. They even have an annual spam jam in Waikiki. In fact, they love it so much that recently an underground black market has developed in Hawaii, along with gangs of people going into grocery stores and stealing spam. That's right, Hawaii now has spam gangs. I found out about this in my geography class not too long ago from my professor. Class had just started, no one wanted to be there, and my professor decides to start with, "So, has anyone heard about the recent news going on in Hawaii?" Well, apparently there's been a rise in spam gangs. Now, I don't know about the rest of my class, but when I heard the phrase spam gangs, my eyes just shot wide open. Spam gangs? And I just had to find out more about this. Why are there gangs of people stealing spam in Hawaii? Well, I guess if you haven't had any, you should know that spam is really good. I mean, I'll shove that shit down my throat 24/7 if I could. But then again, I think that also has more to do with the background of food I grew up with. But why this sudden surge in spam-related crime? Well, let's start with the spam itself. For those of you that don't know, spam is world-renowned for being a mystery meat. No one's really sure what it's made of exactly. I mean, look at it. You might think it's ham, but it's definitely more than just ham. The company claims it's just a mixture of pork and ham and a lot of salty preservatives, but I don't know. I mean, I'll still eat it, so I don't really care even if it was made out of horse penis. This stuff is good. Now in Hawaii, they put this stuff in nearly everything. Spam is just an everyday snack for some people. It's everywhere. One of the main reasons for Hawaii's spam craze goes all the way back to World War II. After World War II, we essentially had a military presence all over the world. But in particular, we had a heavy concentration of military personnel in Hawaii. And Hawaii, being a tiny set of islands out in the middle of the ocean, didn't really have a lot of the resources needed to feed all our soldiers stationed there. And the government, trying to find a way to get fresh meat across the Pacific in a timely and cheap manner, settled on spam. Now, a majority of Asian cultures already have a multitude of ways they prepared spam. And Hawaii, being a central location for Asian immigrants, had a lot of people coming in who knew how to serve up some spam. So, the government sent over some canned spam. It's cheap and has a shelf life of 1,000,000 years, which means it's good for you. In fact, the US government sent over so much spam that a lot of the cans started getting sold in local stores, allowing all the locals to get their hands on some of that preserved goodness too. And from there, we get an explosion of spam all across Hawaii. So with such a booming industry of spam in Hawaii, how do we get to the point where there are now gangs of people roaming the streets stealing spam? Well, this seems to have a direct correlation with the rise in drug peddling in Hawaii. Like with many highly consumed and easily accessible products, drug addicts will somehow find a way to get their hands on a lot of them and sell them on the black market. And this is the case with razor blades, cheap electronics, laundry detergent, condoms, prescription drugs, cigarettes, and now we have spam. And for those of you that don't know, Hawaii has a major methamphetamine problem right now. And when your state already has one of the highest costs of living in the entire country, and when 1 out of 6 residents of your state are in poverty, it doesn't really help your drug problem. So what's a guy gotta do to get a quick fix in a state that's taking all your money away? Well, you can get a group of jumped up druggies like yourself together, head over to a local grocery store, and steal some spam. And these are some well-coordinated spam raids too. Your typical spam gang will be comprised of at least 3 to 4 people. You got one guy at the front doors to watch out for any cops, or inside the getaway car to quickly pull out of there. And you've got another guy to distract any security guards inside the store. Meanwhile, you've got 2 people filling their grocery cart with as many cases of spam as they can hold, and bust your ass out of there. Alright, commence Operation Mystery Meat. Alright, it's full, go! Once the thieves get away with the spam, they'll either end up selling it at the back of their cars or through some other middleman on the black market. It's gotten so bad that some stores now keep the spam locked up behind glass doors or keep it up front with the cashier. Really? Hi there, sir. How many cans are we looking at getting today?
Just 1. Actually 2. 3.
Jesus Christ! Jesus! Get that son of a bitch! And after they sell the spam, the thieves find themselves a local drug seller and spend the rest of their days zoning out to hallucinations of Moana, when in reality they're choking on their own saliva. Since the shoplifters got the stolen goods for free, they are able to make 100% profit reselling them. No, really. Now, another cause of the recent spike in spam-related crimes is said to come from a change in Hawaiian criminal law, in which the new state law changed the definition of a felony from a theft worth at least $350 to one worth at least $750. So a thief could make off with about 300 cans before risking a felony charge. So they still right under. Thanks, lawmakers. I didn't think criminals paid that much attention to the law. Well, now, experts are saying that this change in the law is going to do nothing but increase the shoplifting rate. If you won't get a felony charge for stealing under $750, well then you may as well try and see if you can get away with some shoplifting. If you get caught, no big deal. But if you don't, you just got away with a lot of money. Guess we'll have to see how this will play out. We've got spam gangs now, but will there be spam wars in the future? We'll just have to wait. But you know, all this talk of spam has really got me hungry for some of that mystery meat goodness. Well, luckily, my campus is chock full of this stuff, and they sell it wrapped up in rice and seaweed, just like when I was a kid. Perfect.